Hello and welcome back to Enriching Beliefs. This is Karthik. This is the ultimate career planning series. This is a sub series which is about how do you get your career back on track. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Karthik again. So I just wanted to talk about how do you get your career back to track. All right, just in case you're not motivated enough, just in case that you do not have that spark, that you're not able to find it, so that you can keep advancing and growing in your career. In this sub series, I'm talking about how do you find opportunities within the organization that you are part of. All right, this is the second video where I'm going to be talking about how do you making a lateral movement within your organization. All right, let's get started with that. So let's understand what is it. What is this lateral movement? Okay, so lateral movement is, as you can see on the screen, it's about moving within your department or another one. But essentially, you're not changing your organization. You're still part of the same organization. And now, how do we start? How do you start, moving within your organization? So, what's the starting point? Let's understand that now. And if you're wondering why should you do this, please check out my previous video where I talk about how you can leverage internal opportunities within your organization so that you can, find that next responsibility or find the next role that can help you advance in your career. All right, so let's see where do you start when it's about lateral movement. The first thing is identify your strengths, and I've created a separate video on how do you identify your strengths and weaknesses. I'll leave a link below. Don't miss that out. That's going to be a really valuable video because you will identify your strengths, weaknesses. What are the areas that you can double down upon so that you can get results faster, and what are the areas that you need either training or you need other people to kind of cover those blind spots that you have as weaknesses. Okay, first thing here is identifying your strengths. The second thing is about making sense of what motivates you and drives you. For example, let's say someone is in sales but they are more oriented towards digital marketing. Let's say someone is in the development, in the software coding and all those things. But let's say they are more interested in building products. So what is it that motivates you and drives you? What makes sense to you? All right, the sooner you identify the values that are important to you, the better or the easier it is going to be. You will find that energy, you will find that motivation to keep going in those things. All right, and the third one is about finding opportunities aligned to your goals. Let's say your long-term goal is to get into product development and all that. You want to be part of the product team. Let's say you're currently working as a software developer or a software tester. You can plan that out. You can look at what are the opportunities available within your organization to move into that vertical. All right, so that's the first place where you have to get started. So let's see what are the advantages of making such a lateral movement within your organization. Okay, that's what we're going to be seeing now. The first advantage being you already know the company culture. As you would have seen me talk about this aspect during the start of this Ultimate Career Planning series, that most people think that making a jump or hopping job is the only way to reach to their next goal, or is the only way to find fulfillment in their job. But the biggest thing that people miss out on is once you shift a job, once you hop onto a next job, you have to build your trust from the scratch. It doesn't matter how many years of experience you have, how well the interview went, but you still have to build your trust. People have to start understanding how you work. All these things takes time. All right. So, but if you're moving within your company, if you're making a lateral movement, you don't have to build all these things from scratch because people know you're already part of this culture. You understand how things work in this culture, and you have a head start with that. All right. The second advantage is you have probably established your authority within your department. So when someone is recommending you, or when you have approached your boss or your super boss And when they are recommending you into some other team, they would be already setting the context or already helping the new team understand who you are, how you work. So in a way that going to be helping you establish your authority even before you join that team. All right. So as I just mentioned, it makes the recommendation easier, and it's easier for the other team to absorb people from within the organization. That's the next advantage. So very important point, as I just said, don't have to start all over again. If let's say you already know people from other teams, you've already made a connection with them, you already have people whom you know, again, things can just the transition can be very smooth. You don't have to waste too much of time. There's not you don't have to spend too much time in the revamp, or in the kind of in the ramping up phase. All right, all this time can be saved. The fourth one is you gain new skills. When you're switching from a department to a different one, obviously you're going to be gaining new skills, which is very crucial when it comes to attaining your long-term goals. So you can align those things, and it's going to be very fruitful for in the long run. All right. So if you're making this move with your long-term plan in mind, this is going to be highly advantageous, as I just mentioned. And sixth one, you'll gain new contacts, broader understanding of the business. So if you're moving from, let's say, as I just said, from a development team, an engineering team to a product team, you can make use of all the knowledge that you have as an engineer and help create better products, or even vice versa. Right? So you can leverage all the experience from a different department and help and train other members in a altogether new department. Okay, these are all the advantages of moving or making a lateral movement within your organization. So what are your action items with this? These are all going to be the things. First one, find out senior members in your org and figure out how they have reached the top position. Is it because they just kept growing in the same vertical, or some of them who wanted to try out different departments, try out a different domain, they shifted laterally and made this success possible? You can just check that out. All right. Second, did they spend long time in one department, or was their experience spread across the departments, as I just mentioned? Third one, understand your company's policies on employment with respect to lateral movement. What are the policies? For example, it can be something like, let's say you have a pending loan with your company. Maybe they want you to complete or just close that loan before you move to a different department. Maybe there are some pending things that you have to complete. Maybe there's a position that you have to hire before you can make that shift to a different department. What are all the policies that your company has? Do a study or research on that. Fourth one, weigh your pros and cons of getting into a different department or role. Is it aligned to your long-term goals, long-term plans that you have? Is it going to open up new opportunities for you? Is it going to help you learn all those skills that are really close to your heart, or things that you really like to do? Check out all these things. All right. And the fifth and the final one is find your company's potential growth areas that might interest you. So if your organization is already growing in certain areas and they're trying to build a new team, and if that aligns to your own interests and kind of strengths that you have, it's an awesome combination. All right. So if you want to learn a little bit more on how do you increase your productivity by 5x, how do you learn skills of personal branding, how do you learn skills that can enhance your leadership skills and influencing skills, I'll leave a link below through which you can join my live webinar, and I'll be more than happy to help you gain all this important knowledge. All right, check out the link, join, and follow me on YouTube, because I'll be coming up with all these practical things that can help you keep growing and moving forward in your career and in your job. With that, that's the close of this video. Thank you for watching till the end. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.